Okay, so we have a Staccato C2. As you've seen, I shoot practically the same thing every month. Unload it, but as I told you, this video would be coming. So I'm a lefty shooter. This is originally a righty Staccato. So Staccato kind of gives you some Ambi controls, right? Like safety, and I guess that's really it. You can figure out how to manipulate the side release, but the magazine catch, they recommend coming over and going under or using your shooting hand. I've done that for quite some time. I mean, ever since I've had it, even on my first Staccato, but I wanted something to be a little bit faster. So I'm getting more competitive. I'm shooting with higher end shooters now. So I'd like to be more competitive overall. You know, it's just one of those, how do I get faster along with more practice? So as you can see, MJD Solutions Villian Grip. It did require some fitting, mainly around the grip safety on the back, but I also bought his mag release, and it's more of a standard mag release compared to Staccato's proprietary. I did end up buying a Dawson Precision button just to make it a little easier on myself for manipulating. Now, it is a smooth grip, smooth grip on the actual mag release itself, but again, combated that with adding a button. One of my good friends, John, who works at the range St. Louis West, he actually fit this for me. So the grip went on just fine, everything, but we weren't getting the grip safety to come back out. So it was not actually, and I don't know if you can see this, but it works now, as you would expect. All safeties function, as you can see, everything works. If we have it up, nothing. If we have it down, nothing. You have to press before it will actually go, which is ideal. So all in all, I'd say what would it be? 2 out of the 3 functions overall would be lefty compatible. I did have some backlash posting last time saying it's not a lefty because it doesn't exit on the left. I beg to differ. So I think this is the most lefty setup Staccato that you could probably get after looking for what seemed to be months. Somebody on Reddit, and I will put his name down below, or her, I guess. They mentioned MJD had a lefty option. So I hit up Matthew on Instagram and via his website. He called me on a Sunday and he was like, yeah, I can definitely do that. Which gun are you running specifically? And I told him the C2, and I have C2 mags. So he said, well, why don't we cut it down a little bit to make it sit flush? And just so you could see empty magazines. So well, that's a 17 rounder. Here's a 16 rounder. So I have 17 rounders with a base plate, 17 rounders without, and then 16 rounders. So that was my fault. But as you can see, sits exactly flush and perfect. And then same with the 17 rounders. Now, another thing that he added was kind of like a Magwell-like lip on the inside for me. And he did all this cutting and everything by hand. If I'm not mistaken, he actually uses a 5-axis, I could be wrong about that, to make the actual texture on the grip, and it's flawless. Now, something I did do is, this is a full-length mainspring housing, so like P-sized. And I swapped to an actual mainspring for a P rather than a C2 because of the extra length in there. And honestly, it runs like a top. So overall, I mean, not all guns are going to require fitting. I mean, these are handcrafted, so it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Again, the only issue I had was the actual back strap itself. It needed some fitting. So overall, I'd say this is a pretty damn good lefty compatible Staccato. I don't really see anything else that I want to do to it. The 509T on it's been great. The Surefire's been great. Some other little modifications that I did, and I'll show you a holster that works without any modification first. Kerber Arms competition holster. Everything fits as you would expect. So even there, it doesn't flex enough to allow it to move over. The one that I did have issues with initially was the Safariland. So it goes right in. All I did was heat it up and then used a pair of pliers to kind of flare that out a little bit. I haven't had an issue. I've ran this at one 2-gun match and one IDPA match with both holsters, and it ran flawlessly. So if you are interested in a Lefty compatible Staccato, definitely hit up Matthew. His customer service is amazing. I cannot speak more highly of that. And this solution to being more friendly to lefty shooters is awesome. Thank you for watching. Short video overall, but I think that this is definitely something you should consider. Thanks.